I think you should sit down. That's what my cousin Dean told me that morning, my wedding day. By the way, right before he shattered my entire F asterisk 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 in reality. But let me back up a bit, because this dumpster fire didn't start at the altar. It started a year before that, when I was still blindly in love with Aaron, my long-term boyfriend, gym teacher turned personal trainer. And trust me, back then, I thought we were solid. We'd been together since college, lived together for 3 years, and had this whole high school sweethearts who made it vibe going. People looked at us and said things like couple goals. God, I hate that phrase now. Anyway, I was working as a vet tech in Ohio, juggling 12-hour shifts, cleaning dog vomit, helping with surgeries, all that, and still managing to plan our wedding. Aaron. He was doing his little 5 a.m. fitness boot camps and pretending he was going to get sponsored by some supplement brand soon. Whatever. Then Kylie, my cousin, moved in. She'd just lost her job and said she needed a few weeks to reset. And because I'm apparently a walking doormat with a bleeding heart, I said yes. She crashed on our couch, brought her messy-ass energy, and just never left. Aaron and Kylie got along right away. Too well, honestly. But I told myself, it's cool. She's my family. He's my fiancé. They're just friendly. Don't be that girl. Well, turns out, being that girl would have saved me from losing 3 years of my life, thousands of dollars, and whatever scraps of trust I had left in my system. 8 months before the wedding. Things started feeling off. Not obvious, just little things. Like, Aaron would text Kylie late at night, saying you up, and she'd giggle but never tell me what it was about. Or I'd come home and they'd stop talking the moment I walked in. I brushed it off because I was busy. I was up to my neck in spreadsheets, flower samples, cake tastings, and trying to figure out how to pay for catering without selling a kidney. And yeah, I asked Aaron once, jokingly, you and Kylie aren't secretly plotting to elope, right? He laughed. She laughed. I laughed. And now I want to punch 2020 for me in the face for laughing. 2 weeks before the wedding. That's when the weird vibes became screaming red flags. Like, Kylie started being shady about her phone. She'd be all like, don't touch that, it's work stuff, while clearly texting someone named real subtle. Aaron started avoiding wedding planning entirely. When I asked him about the seating chart, he said, babe, you're better at that stuff. When I mentioned the honeymoon options, he shrugged and said, surprise me. I was stressed, but I figured he was just overwhelmed, maybe nervous about the big day. I excused every single thing because I wanted it to work. I loved him. We'd been through so much. You don't just throw that away over a few weird texts and gut feelings. Right. Spoiler alert, you absolutely do. Wedding day. The silence before the bomb. The morning of the wedding. I was at the venue. Hair done, makeup flawless, dress zipped up, and everything. But Aaron hadn't texted me, not even a can't wait to see you. I started getting this sick feeling in my stomach. Something was off. I checked my phone. Still nothing. I told myself, he's just nervous. He's probably with his groomsmen. Breathe. Then the wedding coordinator came in and said, we haven't seen the groom yet. Do you want us to delay the ceremony? And that's when my brain just stopped working. I texted him. Hey, where are you? It's almost time. Everything okay? No reply. I called. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Same thing. I went on Instagram. His account was gone. Twitter gone. Facebook blocked. My heart dropped into my asterisking shoes. The moment it all crashed. Dean, my cousin, bless his soul, pulled me aside about 20 minutes later. He looked like he'd rather do literally anything else than say what he was about to say. He said, I didn't want to ruin your day, but Someone just saw Aaron and Kylie this morning, leaving a motel, together, laughing. That's it. That was the moment. I felt something inside me split in half. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stood there in my $1.700 dress, staring at the floor like the air had been sucked out of the world. People were asking questions. My mom was pacing. My bridesmaids looked like they were watching a live car crash. I walked outside, sat on a bench behind the venue, and stared at my phone like an idiot for what felt like hours. No call, no explanation, no sorry. Just silence. And then I knew I wasn't the fiancé. I was the F******ing backup plan. The smokescreen. The blindfold they used until they were ready to run off into their shitty little honeymoon of lies. They didn't just skip the wedding. They got legally married in Vegas 3 days before my ceremony. Found out later it was live-streamed on some rando's Instagram story. He used my grandma's ring, the one I'd kept in a velvet box since I was 15. Who does that? Who lets someone buy a wedding dress, send invitations, order food for 100 guests, and then bails, not just bails, but runs off with family? Kylie, that's who. Aaron, F******ing Aaron, I didn't go back into the venue. I couldn't. I just sat outside in that dress makeup smeared, bouquet long forgotten, freezing in the wind like some glitch in a wedding commercial. People started leaving. Some came by with those pity eyes. You know the ones, tilted heads, soft voices, like someone had died. And honestly, something had... Not just the relationship, not just the wedding. It was the trust, the version of me that believed people wouldn't betray you like this. That version flatlined. The second Dean said the word motel. Eventually, I got in Dean's car, still in the dress, veil in my lap like a bad joke. He didn't say much, just drove me home and sat with me while I stared at the wall for who knows how long. At some point that night, I took off the dress, folded it neatly, and shoved it under my bed like it was radioactive. Then I took a shower. I stayed in there so long the water went cold, and I didn't even care. And I didn't cry. I think that's the part that scared me the most. No tears, just numb. My phone was blowing up. My mom, my friends, some random guests. No one could believe what happened, but I couldn't even type a response. I tossed the phone in a drawer and slammed it shut. The next few days were a blur. I didn't eat, barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Kylie's stupid face laughing, or Aaron doing that smug grin he always did when he thought he was being clever. And yeah, I stalked their socials. Of course I did. You would have too. But nothing. Kylie wiped everything. Aaron too. It was like they'd vanished, or like they were hiding. I don't know which was worse. Then it hit me, why the hell was I hiding? They did this, not me. So I got to work. Not on moving on, not on healing, on evidence. I started digging. First, I logged into our joint account. Yes, we had one. Dumb, I know. But I figured we were almost married. So what could go wrong, LOL? Turns out he drained $3,200 over the past month. Hotel bookings, car rentals, a charge for a white dress boutique in Vegas. I wanted to vomit. But instead, I took screenshots. Every single transaction, every transfer, every receipt I could find. Then I opened the wedding spreadsheet. Yep, I had a Google sheet for all the vendors, costs, deposits, contacts, because if I was going to be left at the altar, they were damn well going to help me make it expensive for him. Photographer paid in full by me. Caterer, my credit card. Venue deposit, guess who? I called each vendor, explained what happened, and filed claims where I could. I wasn't getting most of it back, but I sure as hell wasn't letting Aaron or Kylie benefit from a single cent. Then came the grandma ring. That one broke me. It wasn't just a piece of jewelry. That ring was the last thing my grandmother gave me before she passed. I'd kept it in a box, cleaned it, treasured it. I was going to wear it on my wedding day. And Aaron took it, stole it, put it on Kylie's finger like it was his to give. I wanted to scream. I wanted to smash something. But instead, I called the police. File a report. They said, it's technically theft. You're damn right it is. So I did, gave them everything. Photos, the box it came in. A photo of my grandmother wearing it in 1979. I don't know if anything will come of it, but it felt good to do something. Anything. Then came the Vegas marriage. Turns out, some genius at their wedding chapel posted a group shot on Facebook. Kylie had tagged one of her sorority friends, who forgot to set the post to private. Boom! Evidence. Kylie. In white, Aaron beside her, holding hands, in front of a neon Elvis. I laughed when I saw it. Like full-on WTF is my life laughter. Because that's what it had come to. A fake-ass wedding with a rental Elvis, while my whole world had been collapsing. So I saved that photo too. You bet I did. Then I called Dean. Hey, I said, you still have that contact at the university board. Yeah, he said slowly. Why? Because I have some educational fraud to report. See, what I hadn't mentioned before is that Kylie was attending grad school on a competitive scholarship, the kind where you have to be single, living alone, financially independent. Except she wasn't. She'd been living with me rent-free, depending on my income, using my Wi-Fi, and apparently dating my fiancé on the side. So I put together a nice little PDF. Screenshots of her living situation, her social media tags from my place, the wedding license date from Vegas, and a neat little summary of how she violated every condition of her scholarship contract. Then I emailed it to the board. No subject line, no message, just the evidence. I don't know if they'll revoke her scholarship, but it felt good. Petty, maybe. But this wasn't just revenge. It was consequence. She used me. He used me. And I wasn't going to roll over and let them get away with it. I also changed the locks, called a locksmith that night. Didn't even wait for business hours. That house, it was mine. The mortgage was in my name. Aaron was never on the paperwork. So when they showed up 3 days later, trying to get in, I watched through the window and didn't open the door. Kylie banged on the glass like a maniac. Nat, come on, just talk to us. I didn't move. Aaron stood behind her, looking like a drowned rat in yesterday's hoodie. Please, he said, we didn't mean for it to happen like this. Nope. You don't get to burn down my house and then cry about the smoke. I turned off the porch light, sat back down, sipped my coffee. They left after a while. I haven't seen them since. But you know what? That night was the first time I slept through the whole night in weeks. Not because I was over it. Because I was taking it back. My power, my space, my F******ing life. Next part, you'll want to stick around. Because a month later, Aaron had the audacity to call me again. And this time, I picked up. It was a random Tuesday night when my phone rang. Unknown number. I was curled up on the couch, in sweats, drinking boxed wine and watching trash TV with my dog curled next to me. It had been 4 weeks since the wedding. That wasn't. 4 weeks since I became the accidental main character of the messiest story in the Midwest. I almost didn't answer. But something in me was like, do it. Worst case, spam. Best case, someone trying to sell me extended car warranty so I could yell at them for fun. Hello? There was a pause. Then I heard it, that voice I used to know better than my own. The voice that used to say, "Love you every night." The voice that promised forever. "Nat, hey, it's me!" I swear I didn't even blink. My stomach just dropped straight to the floor. For a second I thought it was a prank. Or maybe I was dreaming. But no, it was Aaron. "What the actual F asterisk 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 are you doing calling me?" I said. Cold. Flat. Zero emotion. He sounded tired, like someone who hadn't slept in a week and finally realized his decisions had consequences. I need to talk to you. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I had to call. I need to explain." Explain. Explain. My brain went full tilt. Explain what? That you stole my ring, slept with my cousin, left me humiliated in front of my entire family, and then got married in F asterisk asterisking Vegas with a discount Elvis asterisk. That kind of explanation. But I didn't say any of that. I stayed quiet. Let him talk. Because a part of me, the petty part, wanted to hear how bad it had gotten. I wanted to hear him squirm. He took that silence as permission. I was stupid. I didn't plan for it to happen that way. Kylie and I, it just happened. I thought it was a fling at first. Then I caught feelings and everything got messy. But I swear, I never wanted to hurt you. I let out a laugh. One of those ugly ones where you snort, because it's either that or throw your phone through a window. You never wanted to hurt me, bro. You left me in a wedding dress and married my cousin. I know. Asterisk it up. I'm not calling to win you back or anything. I needed to say it. I saw the texts you sent me, the ones on the wedding day. I finally read them. Oh, now you read them. Those desperate, humiliated messages I sent while waiting at the venue. The ones where I begged him to just tell me what was going on. He continued rambling. She's not who I thought she was. Kylie. I mean, she's different now, controlling, spends everything, blows up if I even talk to my friends. She keeps accusing me of cheating and tracking my location. I feel like I'm going insane. Oh no, poor baby. So you're telling me you left me for my cousin, who is now what? Driving you crazy, I asked, deadpan. He hesitated. I don't know, maybe I made a mistake. I miss you. Those 3 words hit different when they come from someone who ripped your life apart. You know what I felt, huh? Not butterflies, not pain, not even anger. Disgust. I realized in that moment I wasn't even sad anymore, just done. You miss me, I said, calmly. Aaron, you miss the version of me who would have forgiven you. She's gone. There was silence. I continued. You had everything. Love, stability, someone who believed in you even when you couldn't hold a steady job for 6 months. And you threw it away for someone who wore my F asterisk asterisking ring asterisk without earning a single thing. He started to say something, but I cut him off. I don't need your apology. I needed you to be a decent human being 6 weeks ago. And guess what? You weren't. Another silence. Then finally he said, I get it. I just wanted you to hear it from me, that I regret it every damn day. I sighed, not out of sympathy, out of exhaustion. You're not sorry, you're just uncomfortable now that Karma came in wearing high heels and your name on a lawsuit. He didn't argue. I ended the call with 5 words. Don't ever call me again. And I blocked the number. I thought I'd cry after, but I didn't. Instead, I went to the fridge, poured another glass of wine, and sat back down with my dog. New episode of my show just came on, and I watched it, all of it, with a strange peace in my chest I hadn't felt in forever. Something had shifted. It wasn't closure. It was confirmation. That I didn't want him back. That I didn't even want revenge anymore. Not really. Not the screaming, key your car, burn your stuff kind of revenge. Just the kind that comes quietly. Soft power. Living well. Building something better. Letting him rot in the mess he created while I move the hell on. And if Kylie's making his life hell, even better. Not my circus, not my clowns. But the saga wasn't over yet. Because just when I thought the worst was behind me, my own family decided to join the chaos. And this time, they weren't asking. They were demanding. The next day, my phone buzzed. It was a message from my mom. Just a plain ass. "Hey, sweetheart, haven't heard from you in a bit. How are you doing?" You know, when a text sounds like it's wearing a mask, like there's something underneath it. That was this one. We hadn't talked since the wedding day, unless you count her nervous little whispers of "it'll be okay" while I was still in literal shock. My parents had been weirdly neutral after the whole thing blew up, which in hindsight was its own betrayal. They didn't disown Kylie. Didn't rage at Aaron. Didn't show up at my apartment with ice cream and torches. They just said it was unfortunate and told me I needed time. Yeah, time to get over being *****ing ambushed by my own blood. But fine, whatever, I texted back. I'm fine. And, of course, like clockwork, she responded within seconds. Would love to see you. We're having dinner Sunday, just the family, but you should come. I stared at the screen for a full minute. Just the family. Like, what am I then, a guest and outsider? I almost said no. I should have said no. But a dumb part of me still wanted to believe maybe this was it. The moment they'd finally take my side. Acknowledge what had happened. Call out Kylie. Apologize. So yeah, I went. Sunday night, I showed up to my parents' place with low expectations and a lot of caffeine. Walked in and instantly felt like I was walking into a trap. They were all already there, my mom, my dad, my aunt, and yup, Kylie. Sitting at the table, laughing with a glass of wine, acting like she didn't steal my life. I froze in the doorway. My mom rushed over, too cheerful. "Oh, honey, look who's here." I looked. Kylie smiled at me like we were at a F*** in brunch. "Hey, Nat." My fist clenched on instinct. She stood up like she wanted to hug me. Nope. I sidestepped her and sat down on the opposite end of the table. Didn't say a word. We had dinner. Everyone made small talk, pretended like the world hadn't exploded. No one mentioned the wedding, or Aaron, or the fact that I was sitting across from the person who destroyed my trust. It was surreal. Finally, after dessert, my mom leaned over and said in her softest, most manipulative tone, "We just think it's time to move on." My fork paused mid-air. "Excuse me." Dad cleared his throat. "Kylie's still your cousin, and you've always been so close." I let out a sharp laugh. Close she slept with my fiancé. That's not close. That's sociopathic. Mom gave me that look, the one she used to give me in high school when I got a B+. We know it was wrong, but Kylie's going through a lot too. She lost her place. She's having trouble at school. I cut her off. She lost her place because she was living in my apartment rent-free, and the only trouble she has at school is because I reported her for academic fraud after she lied on her scholarship paperwork. The table went dead quiet. Kylie's face turned white. What she asked, blinking like I'd slapped her. Oh, you didn't know, I smiled. They're reviewing your enrollment. Guess maybe you should have read the fine print on that housing clause. My aunt gasped. My mom looked like I'd kicked a puppy. Dad just sat back and muttered, Jesus Christ. That's when Kylie snapped. You're such a asterisking bitch, she said, slamming her glass down. You just can't stand not being the victim. And there it was. The mask dropped. You think I wanted to be the victim, I said, voice shaking. You think I planned for my wedding to become a goddamn horror story? You did this, you and Aaron. And now you want me to play nice so you don't feel guilty. Screw that. I stood up. Dinner's over. My mom reached for me. Sweetheart, please, we're still a family. No, I said. You're her family. I'm just the inconvenience. And I walked out. Didn't wait for an apology. Didn't give them another second of my time. That drive home. Quiet, angry, liberating. I pulled over halfway and screamed in my car like a maniac. Then I laughed, cried a little, screamed again. It felt unhinged, but weirdly healing. I realized something important that night. Family isn't blood. It's effort. It's respect. It's not asking the person who got burned to apologize for not hugging the arsonist. They'd chosen their side. So now I was choosing mine. No more texts. No more dinners. No more trying to explain my hurt to people who never gave a damn in the first place. That week, I blocked Kylie on everything, removed my parents from my emergency contact list. I even changed the name on my dog's vet record, so Aaron's last name wasn't anywhere near it. Symbolic petty, maybe? But it made me feel clean. Lighter. Like I was finally scrubbing the last sticky bits of betrayal off my skin. Of course, my family didn't let it go. 3 days later, I got an email from my mom. No greeting, no warmth, just this. We've tried to be patient, but if you can't make peace with your cousin, maybe you're the one tearing this family apart. I didn't reply. Didn't even finish reading it. I hit delete, blocked her email, and closed my laptop. Done. This was survival now. And I wasn't playing nice anymore. After I cut them off Kylie, my parents, the whole we're still family crew, I expected to feel sad, lonely, maybe. But instead, I felt free. Not happy, not healed, just unchained. For the first time in months, I wasn't reacting to someone else's bulls **. I wasn't checking social media to see if they posted. I wasn't holding my breath waiting for someone to do the right thing. I just breathed. I went back to work, showed up early, stayed late, took on extra shifts because being around barking dogs and bleeding cats made more sense than pretending my life hadn't imploded. My coworkers didn't ask questions, just brought me coffee, gave me space. Real ones. I also started jogging again. Nothing crazy, just down the block. Around the park, headphones in, hoodie up. Sweat helped me feel like I had a body again, not just a shell dragging trauma around like a sack of bricks. And then, slowly, things started to feel less awful. I went out with coworkers once, then again. Said yes to a book club invite. Started cooking my own meals again instead of Postmates every night. The little things. The tiny wins. Therapy. Yeah, I finally gave it a shot. I sat on that couch across from a woman named Mel, mid-40s. Blunt, wore sneakers to work like she didn't have time for your emotional acrobatics, and I told her everything. Not all at once, just pieces. The dress, the ring, the voicemail, the shame. She didn't pity me. Thank God. She just nodded and said, "And how are you punishing yourself today?" That question cracked me open. Because she was right, I was still blaming myself. Somewhere deep down. I thought I should have known. That maybe I saw the signs and just ignored them. That my pain was partly my fault. But it wasn't. They did this, not me! And finally admitting that it felt like stepping out of a fog. I still had bad days. Of course I did. There were mornings I'd wake up in a cold sweat, thinking I was late for the wedding. Nights I'd hear a voice in my head say, "You weren't enough," and I'd have to talk myself down like a hostage negotiator. But then there were good days too. One morning I woke up and realized I hadn't thought about Aaron in a week. Not once. Not his face, not his voice, not the way he held my hand when he lied. It was weirdly anticlimactic, like walking past a grave and realizing the ghost finally left. I started taking photos again, nothing fancy, just my dog, trees in the park, dumb food pics for no one but myself. It made me feel like a person with a life, not just a survivor of someone else's chaos. And people noticed. Dean kept checking in, always casual, never pushy. You alive, eat today. Rate your mental breakdown on a scale of puddle to forest fire. He was the only family member who never asked me to forgive, never pressured. He just showed up. And I'll never forget that. Then there was this guy, Adam, friend of a coworker. Met him at a game night. Didn't think much of it at first. He was quiet, had this messy brown hair, and wore those beat-up Vans like they were made of gold. We played Uno. He made a sarcastic joke about reverse cards being acts of spiritual warfare. I laughed for real. First time in a long time. We started texting, hanging out. Nothing serious. Just easy. And it wasn't a rebound. It wasn't about making Aaron jealous. It was about me realizing I still had the capacity to connect, to laugh, to talk about something other than betrayal. Of course, I didn't tell Adam everything. Not right away. Just hinted at the mess. Said I'd been through a lot. He didn't press. Just said, "That's cool. Let me know when you want to talk about it or never. I'm good either way." That hit different. Because for months, everyone around me had tried to fix me, patch the cracks, push forgiveness, tell me to be the bigger person. But Adam, he just let me exist. And honestly, that was more healing than any pep talk. I don't know where it's going. Maybe nowhere, but it's nice. And you know what else is nice? Not checking Aaron's socials. Not wondering what Kylie's doing. Not needing an apology that was never going to come. Because here's the truth. People don't tell you about closure. You don't get it from them. You build it yourself. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you drink your water, you block the number, you cry when you need to, you laugh when you can. And slowly, you stop bleeding from the same wound over and over. I still have the ring box. Not the ring of asterisk, 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 no. That's still under police claim or whatever. But the box, I kept it. Not because I'm sentimental, though, because it reminds me of how close I came to marrying a lie. Of how much I lost. But more importantly, of how much I walked away from by choice. Because I could have begged, could have played the drama card, could have tried to win him back just to prove I was better. But I didn't. I chose me. I'm still choosing me. And the further I get from that girl in the wedding dress, the more I want to hug her. Not out of pity, out of pride. She didn't fall apart. She burned and then rebuilt. From ***********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************